Before I start, tangent. I didn't feel like making a review, but I wanted to make a video. Then one night, I'm fighting my own body to go to bed because of insomnia, because of course I do. Then it hit me. Maybe do something else. An amazing revelation by 2 AM me doing everything to try and go to bed. I still didn't go to bed till 3, and I decided to eat a protein bar. Then I instantly fell asleep. Don't ask me how that makes sense. I've been asking myself that for years, and I still don't have a good answer. Another thing, I'm a shitter who purely plays pubs and nothing else, and have never touched rank, since I still have bad memories from the Overwatch days. Dear God, what a roller coaster that game is. Used to be good, ass, now it's turbo ass. It's not really a roller coaster, it's just more like a very steep downhill. So if you're here for ranked, you're too smart for this channel. Otherwise, with that out of the way, you here because you are idiot, and I am idiot, but can play Thor good. So you want help from fellow moron. I get it. So how do it? Well, first, we have these 3 hammers just itching to hit nails. As the god of hammers, you have to use them to do any of your abilities, except for the slowdown. From my understanding, hammers don't usually go slow, so it makes sense. Your other abilities give you an extra bit of health from the exercise of swinging hammers around. Quite literally in this case, because one ability is you throwing a hammer and catching it. Which sounds cool, but I'm gonna be real. You never use this unless a guy has 1 hit from death or is a flying rat, which makes me want to get angry at the sky for allowing him to be there. So in reality, you actually only have 3 abilities and not 4, which basically makes the character easier to understand. Your actual good abilities start with you using the godlike power of inertia to lunge forward. This ability is the one you want to spam. It's the single most defining ability for Thor, since it's movement when held, shielding, and slight movement when not held. A good way to get in and bash skulls, a way to get in and stun an enemy for a bit, an escape tool, and a way to put someone in a bad spot where they're all alone with them, and trust me, you'll win. I know that sounds like a lot, but let me simplify it. Use it if you have it. This alone isn't a hard concept, but not using it in a way that gets you killed is much harder. Like, there are several times I charge in feeling like a god with my 700 to 800 health, then get sent into the Bifrost to endure 2 bad movies as a punishment. Some might consider 3 bad movies as punishment. Usually you'll be safe charging in, getting a few hits until you're like half health, then praying that they don't treat you like a nail instead and stick you in place. The last one is one that uses all 3 of your hammers in exchange for a bigger chunk of health and a ton more damage for about 8 seconds, and your hammer floats. 9 times out of 10 you'll use this in a 1v1 or if the enemy doesn't turn around for their supports, which happens a lot in pubs, so it's an easy way to cripple them in a fight. The slowdown and your basic attack also gives you back hammers to both keep you alive and also spam your abilities more, which means more damage and more survivability. It's no magic or Wolverine, but damage is damage. The last ability is your ultimate, which is honestly kind of hard to get kills with, since he must announce he is the god of thunder several times, including his ultimate.
Behold the god of thunder! I am Thor, Odinson, god of thunder.
Judging.
I am the god of thunder and the mightiest avenger.
I told you. Most people will see the thing making the loud sound that kills you and walk backwards. The actual charging of his ult also does damage, but not as much as the slam. But you'll pretty much never hit this if the enemy has their hands on their controller or their keyboard, and if they're actually human as well. Even if you full charge into the middle of them, live, and somehow get the full ult off before they kill you, unfortunately, they still have the controller in their hands. And they will do the very simple task of pressing back or pressing S. This is the unfortunate thing about your ult. Now that we know how these work individually, how do they work with each other, and how do you generally play Thor? So basically there will be 2 situations that you'll encounter. Oh god, that's the entire enemy team, and 1v1. If you see the whole ass team on the other side, and while it sounds funny to rush into the entire team and get evaporated, I'd imagine that's only funny the first time. Otherwise, usually you want to charge into their backline, try to hit one of the supports with a slowdown and play whack-a-mole with their head a few times, then harass them until you're about half health. Then spam hammer charge away and barely survive with 10 health. Unless the other team snorted Cheeto dust right before this game and just completely ignored the supports, you might get away with going lightning form and beating their ass. But don't expect this to work, because usually they want to keep their supports alive because they're keeping them alive. Usually you don't want to be in this situation, but it sometimes just happens with teams that stick with each other a bunch. You probably want someone else to deal that's better at dealing with that. Now the other situation on the other hand, perfect. There are very few characters that can easily beat Thor in a 1v1, especially if you use lightning form, where you basically shred squishies in a few hits and smack tanks around, assuming you actually hit them. Honestly, if you lose to like a solo support while in lightning form, it makes a lot more sense why you're watching this video. Either way, you're probably not going to lose in a 1v1. This also means that anyone who tries to run in solo like a Venom or a Black Panther is your perfect target, assuming you can actually hit them before they run away. Either that or forcing them to be solo by pushing them away from their team by the power of inertia. There's a reason why people find physics to be the most fun science. There's actually practical use for it, and not just use in a lab. It's especially best to target someone with little mobility. Like, you don't want your nail to keep moving around like a fucking mosquito. Like a Spider-Man will Spider-Man and fly around until he gets his ult, then he's actually able to do something. There's no way you're going to catch them unless he's stupid and tries to kill you. But a Magneto or a Hawkeye in melee range, this is what you're looking for. They're the ones you want to single out, push away from their team, and beat them to death while they desperately try to run. Now that you know how you work solo, remember, this is a team game, and you have other people that can sometimes be useful. I can say for certain that you need healers. With how much damage you take from running into them so often, you'll most likely come back looking like a cartoon character who just got a piano dropped on them and need to heal up to, well, do it again. Because you're Thor, that's what you do. Or to keep you alive while you're actually in the fight, depending on what healers that are being played. Honestly, the healers that are on your team usually change how you play Thor more than the DPS characters. I mean, granted, you're better off with DPS characters that don't need your protection or can run in with you, because you're constantly in the fight and you're in the I must get in mindset. You're not really thinking about your team all that much when you're doing that all the time. Quite honestly, you play more like a DPS character than most. So for all you Insta-lock DPS players out there, he's a great pick for you, because you can pretend you're helping the team by picking a tank, but you play like a DPS. Everyone wins in this situation. All that's left is just for some random stuff about him that doesn't really fit into these categories. His lightning mode actually shoots out projectiles, like Magneto's sword with the Scarlet Witch team up. So you can at least try to deal with flying enemies, unlike most melee characters. Although it has lead time to it, so you have to predict how the flying guy is moving, which, depending on the flying guy, there's probably not going to hit him. Like, you might be able to hit a Iron Man that's just sitting there, but for most of the other flying characters that can really move, or just ones that have a lot of mobility, you're probably not going to hit them with this. But it's a good fact to know. I know the Hela team up is nice because she can revive you when she gets a kill, which I swear used to be her being able to outright revive you by pressing a button. But I hadn't played much Thor in the beginning patches of the game, so what do I know? I'm also not sure how good the Captain America and Storm ones are, because I don't normally get to play them with a Thor on my team. But I imagine any extra damage buff is at least somewhat useful. With that out of the way, now you can get 4 MVP screens in a row like I have, or at the very least have a tank you DPS players might actually play. Like, I swear, I'm the only one who actually likes playing tank in my lobbies. Now, behold the God of Impact font! Boom! Bye bye.
But I'm more prepared on my redemption road. I rip my foes when I trip and flip.